So Amazon is the largest online marketplace in the world, and if your business is not on Amazon, you're missing out on a huge market. So today I'm at the Amazon Global Selling Summit, gonna learn about how you scale your business from just Singapore to all over the world through Amazon. And yeah, let's find out more. Let's go.
Too hot for me.
So this place is really epic. There's like 3 big convention halls in MBS that were converted. There were games, there were free drinks, and of course, I'm here to meet Worldfirst. Today I'll be speaking to Bruce Ding. He's the Global General Manager for Worldfirst cross-border e-commerce business. So he has a lot of experience, especially in China. He leads the global partnership team in building strategic connections and synergy. So there's a very powerful combination to help merchants to grow both locally and globally. So today he'll be teaching me how do I stand out in today's extremely crowded online marketplace. He's going to talk about seller strategies. How can I optimize my supplier sourcing? How do I optimize my payments and receivables so that I can collect my cash faster, turn over faster, and ultimately do more business and earn more money? So China is a big market. If I can learn how to tap on its resources, it will help me grow my business a lot. Okay, so nice to meet you, Bruce. Thank you for coming to speak with us.
Thank you.
Today I want to know more about seller sourcing strategies because we are at the Amazon Global Selling Summit, so we are very interested to learn more.
Definitely. We do see huge growth, not only in China, but also globally for e-commerce sellers for 2023. It's a very tough market, but we see smart guys are doing really well. And how to define the word smart? Because they focus on little things. You just mentioned the procurement, sourcing. I think it's a very critical part of the entire operation. And we do notice that people can, if you can streamline your procurement from China, then you probably are winning half of the battle in some sense.
Right. In terms of to win this game is all about margins. So if you optimize your margins, that's when you can beat your competitors.
Definitely. You have to find out who can give the same supply at the lowest price. That's the first question.
Right.
Secondly, how can you have those items shipped over to you and you repack it to sell to some other places? This is question number 2 you have to solve. Question number 3, you have to solve the money problem. How you actually pay the suppliers in a way that they like, in a way that you feel secure.
Right.
What we try to do is we try to solve the question number 1 and the question number 3. So we have this what we call the direct purchase to 1688.com kind of feature. 1688.com is the biggest B2B website in China. Historically, they serve only Chinese, so for the supply chain buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
But now we open up the door for offshore buyers. Okay, so that's a very smart way. You can find the cheapest supplier for a given item on their website. And then we solve the payment problem. I'm outside of China. How can I make payment to those suppliers? How can I use my US dollar to actually pay those Chinese items? We solve that problem. We have the direct payment, very secure, very easy. And as the buyer, as the seller, they are both happy with the experience.
Right. Before I came to this event, actually, this is the first time I knew about 1688. And when I tried to check the website, I realized a lot of products are similar, but Amazon is selling almost 15-20% more expensive and they have higher MOQ. So in 1688, we have lesser MOQ and it's cheaper. But because we are dealing with direct manufacturers, right, is it more dangerous to or difficult to deal with them?
I really think that it depends on your definition of difficult or dangerous, right?
Like, will they cheat us?
Cheating would not be that easy because it's a website. The fulfillment is actually owned by 1688.com. It's one of the biggest website owners actually in China in the B2B space, right? So it's not really about cheating. What I really want to say is it's really about what items you want to sell. They are not 100% so for the finished product in some sense. they're more like an OEM. They could be a component of something that you're trying to sell. Or you probably have to repack it somewhat to adapt to the local style and flavor. You probably have to sharpen up the pencil a little bit. They could be a raw material in some sense, but you, depending on how you make it less raw, right? You can do a little bit, or you can do heavy kind of upgrade in terms of what you already purchased from 1688.
Right.
So that's, I think, is the value creation. If you are simply buying from 1688, you're trying to sell to Amazon. If that strategy works, let's assume that strategy works, what's your entry barrier? If you know it, Jason can know it, David can know it, everybody knows it, right? That strategy disappears overnight. So usually what we see, the smartest sellers, they procure from 1688 and then they do little things around it. The little things is their so-called advantage and their own style and flavor, which they can sell at a good price.
Right, so they try to add a spin so that the product has some sort of special branding or special attributes. Like maybe they add a feature that they saw somewhere. They ask the manufacturer to modify it a little bit.
Yeah, and also from a quality perspective, some sellers, they even do a second line of so-called quality control. Because each region of consumers, they may have a different perception of quality.
Right.
So maybe when you buy something, you feel this is really good. It may work in your region, in some region in Thailand, for example, but it may not consistent with the concept of quality in Singapore. So if you're a seller, you're doing Thailand business as well as Singapore business, what would you do? You'll probably do a little bit differences in terms of finishing and the touching and so for the revamping. You will have so for the local adoption version. I really think let the payment business handled by us. You can sleep tight, and all your emphasis or your energy to spend it on figuring out what product to sell to whom.
Right, so in terms of the style, the packaging, So now let's understand a little about cash flow, because I myself, I am starting to venture into selling things online for my badminton business. One of the issues I face is the cash flow management. So like when I try to sell, right, you need to front a lot of capital. Just getting, say, 400 pieces of shirt, I think will set me back almost $8,000. So all this huge inventory cost a lot upfront just to get started. So then there is a big risk of not being able to, manage our cash flow properly or be able to survive if I keep having to front a lot of capital. Yeah, do you have any tips on how we can better manage our capital?
I would make a couple suggestions. I think the first suggestion is just don't start business that big. Maintain a reasonable inventory. There's always two kinds of fears when you start an e-commerce business. The fear of product not selling and the fear of product sell too fast. I don't have enough inventory. I would say the fear number two is the lesser of a fear. So if I start a business, I would start something small. If I think my idea is good, I start testing it with reasonable inventory. And once I start selling the item, I see the money coming in. With that, Worldfirst can help you to vamp, to get more money, to expand your operation. Once the money comes in, it starts to become a healthy business, small but healthy. And once the stream of cash flow using our service, we can give you credit for it so that we can give you more money so that you can expand into building up a bigger pile of inventory to expand your business. So always manage your business expansion accordingly.
So you mentioned about basically being lean, right? Starting smaller quantities. But the worry I have is that it's very long to start a new cycle. Even if I get less inventory, I want to order new inventory, it takes a long time. If I sell first, I want to get payouts from Amazon. It also sometimes takes quite long. I do notice that people will have verification issues, payout delays, which cause them to take their money really late, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks time. And that makes it very stressful to order like smaller quantity, right? Because these problems are not resolved.
For that need, we can introduce you because Worldfirst is a part of the Ant Group. And the Ant Group, we have a lot of different licenses and institutions providing financial services around the globe. For example, we have a digital bank, Next Bank.
Right.
So this is the bank focused on providing financial services to SMEs in Singapore and Southeast Asia.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
You should definitely talk to them because they can give you a loan or something to kickstart your business so that you can have the whole game start ball rolling.
Right. Yeah, so in China, because you mentioned about 1688 integration, right? How popular or how big is Worldfirst with the...
Worldfirst, we may not be as so-called household name in Singapore yet, but we actually are doing really well both in Singapore as well as in China. We are one of the largest, we're the largest PSP right now in China servicing cross-border e-commerce sellers. We're also the biggest so-called PSP service providers for Singaporean sellers on Amazon. So
I didn't know that.
We
Wow,
are.
that's amazing.
We are actually growing a speed in Singapore. We're growing speed over 60% YOY.
Wow, year.
Yeah. In China, we're growing around like somewhere between 50% to 60% YOY in China.
That's insane.
Yeah, thank you. This is a tough market, but we think we're providing our core value propositions to our customers. We provide a multi-currency account, allowing them to sell their products globally, right? Doesn't matter what currency that may be, we'll be able to collect it, we'll be able to disperse it, we'll be able to bring back home. And also we enable them, on a procurement perspective, easier access to 1688 and other so-called sourcing vendors. We make the payment easy, make the payment secure. And finally, once we see the cash flow, we feel comfortable, the business growth, we're gonna supply them with different kinds of financing services, maybe along with Anex Bank, we are able to help them to prosper. I think all those three things win the heart of a lot of the sellers.
Right. So, I think Worldfirst supports renminbi, right? So we can definitely convert to renminbi and pay directly. One of the issues I read is return payments. Like, you have this issue where I think a small couple of businesses share with me where they try to pay. There were issues of return payments, or when people, they send the money, it got rejected, it goes back. And those are very scary instances, especially when customers try to pay and the money is returned to the customers. I have had that experience before. They cost me thousands of dollars, and the banking account didn't tell me which of my customers' payments was returned. So that was actually a very scary experience.
Right, that's why I think if you use our Worldfirst account, I think what we can do is we make sure we tell you what the hell is going on, right? So we have what we call the GPI. We can track every single stage of the money flow, where it's actually arrived and whether it's returned or not. If it's processed, of course, it's good. If it's not processed, we let you know why it's not processed. Maybe there's some documentation issues. Maybe your sort code is not entered correctly. So all those reasons, we have our dedicated customer service providers, to help you to figure out what's going on with your money.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, my experience with Worldfirst was awesome. When I signed up an account, I had a customer service representative call me, like, do you need help signing up?
Yeah, thank you.
That was really
for
nice.
Being our customer.
Yeah.
I really, thank you. I mean, we always in Chinese, we said you are our parents, real parents that feed us.
It's because one of my experience, it was a really scary experience as a business owner, where basically it was a banking blackout where customers could send us a screenshot and all, like, hey, transfer went through, but we did not receive the money in our bank account. And when we called the customer service, they were telling us, sorry, our tech team has issues. Maybe you can contact the tech team, which was an external company, not within the same company. So it was a nightmare. In the end, all they did was, oh, sorry, this happened. What to do? So that was so scary.
Every single dollar is actually governed by a particular license, right? So every time we serve, let's say for Singapore, we're governed by the regulators. We are required to safeguard the money in a secured fashion or form. It's actually, for example, our money, let's say in a particular bank, right? The bank has to secure our money other than mingle the money with the bank's other money. So it's independently secure and guarded. Even if the particular bank goes down, our money can stand strong.
Right.
So that's the level of security. We're not only picking the best bank to be the partnering bank, right? We're working with the biggest banks like JP Morgan, like Citibank, globally. These are the biggest banks. But also we safeguard our money within the best bank in the fashion to protect the interest of our customers. One of the things that the customers love us the most is the concept of security. We protect your money because money is very important, right? It's we work so hard to make a little bit of money here and there, but we cannot afford any issue with that, right? So I'll give you one example. It's a true story happened in China. And we use technology and we use our effort to actually help the customer. The customer is actually a buyer. The buyer trying to make a payment to somebody. And unfortunately, the buyer's email was hacked.
Oh.
It's a seller in China. They actually asked the offshore seller to send the money into account, let's say account ABC.
Yeah.
But the communication between the seller, Chinese seller, and the offshore buyer was cracked because the email was hacked. So the bad guy actually using the seller to send a fake email, which is the same email address, right? Say, hey, instead of account ABC, please send account 123.
Yeah.
So, but the seller doesn't even know because in the middle of the night, the email was cracked, and once the email sent out, maybe erased from the outbox or something, so the seller doesn't know. 2 weeks later, the seller is contacting the buyer, say, where's my money? I haven't seen the money. And the seller, the buyer is saying, wait a second, I sent you the money already.
Yeah.
You told me, which account? I sent the account 123, but wait a second, I asked you to send that money to ABC. No. You told me to change from ABC to 123. No, I didn't tell you. No, you did. That's how the problem you start to surface.
Yeah.
But the account ABC is actually provided by Worldfirst. The account 123 is not provided by Worldfirst.
Yeah.
So it's not actually our job to chase the account 123. But still, because that seller is my customer, we actually chase the owner of 123. Let's say 123 belongs to a particular bank. Because Ant Group, we have banking relationship with every single major banks in the world. We actually chase that money flow. We tell the bank to freeze the bank account 123 to get the money returned to the right recipient. So we actually did the whole thing. Within 72 hours or something, we solved the problem. But it takes a lot of effort. It's a heightened risk because the money, once it hits 123, the money will go to another account. The money we will never be able to actually trace back. But we actually help our customer. So these are the things I truly think we go beyond what typically required of us.
Right.
Because our model really is the customer first. So whatever is the issue with the customer, we will do whatever we can to help the customer.
Oh, that was an amazing story. Thank you for sharing. So what about lobangs? You know, lobang is a Singaporean term for, opportunities. Because I know that you are very experienced and well-versed in the Chinese market. So is there someone you can link us up to if our audience wants to contact to like a supplier or something? Is there a way we can get in touch?
Yes, sure. Yeah. Definitely contact with my team. Right behind me, they're busy talking to other customers. I can share some of the trends, so-called smart moves that I see out of the Chinese so-called seller base.
Yeah.
I think one thing is, we mentioned before, procure smartly, right? Manage your supply chain, because I really think that the supply chain management is the critical part of it, because everybody is doing this. If you can manage the supply chain more efficiently than others, for the same price, you make more money, or you can actually lower the price to actually push out your competitors.
Right.
So I think supply management is critical. Secondly, pay attention to the business, not the money. Because I do notice that a lot of times people pick and choose the service providers on PSP. Honestly, I think it's a critical decision.
Yeah.
But it's not as critical as to figure out to sell where with what product stream, right?
Where can someone find like resources, like tips and resources to get started? You said research.
I would say our website to start. Our website offers you a lot of information on the payment industry, as well as what the latest and new, most reasonable so-called practices, best practices that we have seen. So start from our website. And also, I would say right now, a lot of the resources are coming from you, right? KOLs or experienced sellers, and study more. I think there are a lot of material on YouTube. There are a lot of material on Facebook. A lot of material you can search by doing Google. Because if end of the day you still cannot find anything you want, give us a shout. We get what you want, whatever information you may need.
Understand. Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
today.
Thank
it was
you for
a
having
pleasure.
me. It's my pleasure as well. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you.
So what have we learned? Basically, online selling is getting extremely competitive. Directly buying and then selling from manufacturers no longer work, you need to spend a lot of time researching and basically differentiating. It doesn't have to be a big change, just a small change that makes it stand out to your target market. So this means you need to know exactly what your target markets desire, and afterwards you need to manage your margins closely as people try to compete. You need to outcompete them in margins. Find consultancy companies to fill up areas in which you're weak at, such as these areas over here. The key is to start the business lean so that you minimize risk and profit early. If you're still unsure which payment service provider to go for, why not check out Worldfirst? They are Singapore sellers' most popular online payment service provider, as well as Chinese suppliers on 1688's most preferred payment method. So you can't go wrong with the biggest. I'm going to leave the link over here. You can check them out in the description below. It's free to sign up, so why not just check them out right now. The onboarding process was really smooth and simple. All you needed to do was just log in with your SingPass and it's set up automatically. If you have any questions, you can comment below or check out what YouTube recommends you over here and here. And I will see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe, everyone.